Hello and welcome to the YouTube channel of mprugs.com. My name is Mike. I'm the moderator in the series of videos that is all about handmade carpets from around the world. Welcome you to our channel. Hope you and your family are doing well. In today's episode, I want to feature not only a type of Persian rug design, but also show you an actual example. And this is all about the Tehran carpets from the capital city of Iran. Here is an example of one. It's a very small rug weaving community that was basically been around for about 100 years, but it was actually always been a very small community. But here to the left of me is a very old antique piece that I'm going to showcase to you a little bit and tell you a little bit about it. And also to the other side of me, here's an actual an old Turkish pure silk Hereke from the Ozipek workshop that also has what is known as a Tehran design. This armor shield, this Merad design, this pattern, when you look at it, it has almost what looks like a shield. This shield with these flowers, as I'm going to show you in a little bit, this is known as a Tehran design. And here you have it in a Turkish silk Ozipek Hereke, and here is a Chinese copy of one. This was actually sold originally as a Persian rug, but when we got it and we looked at it, we're like, yeah, this is unfortunately not a Persian rug. This is a Chinese imitation, basically. But it also features, as you can see in the pictures, it has that same, what I call the armor design, the shield design. With, as you can see in the center, you have the vase. You have it typically either underneath a chandelier, or you just have it out in the open, just like this, where you have a large center. And then you typically have, just like in the case of the Ozipek, you have these wedges along the bottom. This looks almost like a medieval type of design. And this is what is known as the Tehran design, but I wanted to also feature an actual Tehran rug, because this is something that chances are most of you, even for those of you that are into Persian rugs, you have probably never actually seen a Tehran rug. As you know, the capital of Iran, Tehran, has one of the largest bazaars in the world. But even though it was basically the center of the rug trade in Iran, it was in itself never really a rug weaving community. The rug weaving didn't really start until the beginning of the 20th century, about the first quarter of it, right around 1920 or so. And it was basically out of necessity. As the bazaar in Tehran got bigger and bigger, a lot of the workshops, a lot of the merchants, sometimes they had rugs that needed to be repaired or cleaned. So they started bringing in some of the skilled weavers, the repairmen. And so basically you had the business community bringing in people. This is how the folks in Tehran started. This is how the rug culture came about. Now there's a whole lot of different people that have different opinions and everything. But here's the thing. Being that we're in the family, my grandpa remembers that we had, my family, we have half of it coming from the Tabriz area. Well, back in the old days, the center for the rug, the rug center, when it comes to the trading and everything, it was basically Tehran, especially after the war. And so you needed to have all of the different skills people being on hand, being able to do repairs, washing, and any type of make changes. Sometimes, oftentimes when the rugs are brand new, they're actually not properly washed. They're not trimmed. Again, so you have to have all these skilled workmen there. And that is how the community in Tehran got started. And so eventually some of them started making rugs. And this right here is a perfect example. This one dates back to about the 1920s. This is from early on, but you can also see some of the features that are in this rug that you will also see in the shield design, such as, for example, the flowers. In the Tehran design, you have these roundish flowers, and you have these types of, if you were to look at this right here, you look at this at the bottom here, this again is something that looks, it could very easily have come off an armored shield. And so you have a lot of unique designs that you typically don't find in the traditional Persian rugs. You have the floral, the bouquets. You have the, like I said, you have what I would call the armored design. Then you also have the colors. Blue, there's a lot of blues in the rugs. And that's, like I said, it's what you see right here to my left is an antique piece. What you see right here, I mean, even though it's it's a Turkish Ozipek, they did an amazing job. I mean, this is a very, very fine 1515 quality. And as I always do is when I get behind the camera, I'm going to show you some of the features. This is a very rare piece in that you have a Turkish rug with a Persian, with a classic known Persian rug design. It is really rare to have these types of things. And then here again, like I said, I have put this up. I want to show you, yes, you can have also the same type of rug. This is a Chinese silk rug. The difference between the two, obviously, is you have the silk, the Turkish rug, the detailing. But for all fairness, this, the silk, the Chinese silk rug, this one has about 500,000 knots per square inch. The Ozipek here has over 2 million knots per square meter. I'm sorry, did I say square inch? I meant square meter. So here you have what is known as a 1515 quality. That's 15 knots per centimeter. It's absolutely incredible how they did this. Then here you have something that has half of it. I mean, it's a very fine piece, but when you look at a Turkish Hereke rug, especially one that is made from the Ozipek factory, which unfortunately the Ozipek workshop was a group of weavers that they started making rugs around 1900, but really didn't flourish until about the 1950s and on. And then unfortunately got all but wiped out when the cheap Chinese imitation rugs came in. Because here's a perfect example. You have a very, very valuable, this is a piece of art. This is what our clients collect when they're looking for art pieces. Here you have a piece that is, it was sold as a Persian rug, but it is Chinese. And so this is something that, I would be selling for a few $100s. So I just wanted you to understand, this is well in excess of 10,000. This is a few hundred. There's a big price difference in between. And so just wanted to point that out. And that also means, let me just point out to you, as I always do, I'm going to get behind the camera a little bit and show you some of the features of the Tehran design and also feature the Tehran rug. But before I do, I just want to briefly mention to you, this is something that we do in our spare time. This is a hobby of ours. But one of the things that I always try to do is make myself available to the audience. So if you're watching this video and if you have a question about a rug that you already own and you're not too sure about what it is and all that, there's a link in the description below to a video where I show you basically what type of pictures I need and in what size, and you can simply email them or leave questions in the comments section. Also, feel free to visit us at mprugs.com where you see a lot of the pictures and the close-ups and a lot more information. But this is what this channel is all about. For example, I have a lot of videos where I talk about the differences in the Persian and the Turkish, the genuine silk rugs, and the imitation rugs that are being sold throughout the Middle East and even here in Europe as them. So here you have a Chinese rug that was sold as a Persian rug that could have easily also been sold as a Turkish rug. And I have a lot of videos where I talk about the differences so that you don't get basically, so that you don't fall into the trap and pay for something when they promise you that it's a Turkish rug, but you end up buying it and realizing, holy crap, it's a Chinese one. So just want to give you a heads up. So now, as I always do, I'm going to get behind the camera. I'm going to show you some of the features of these rugs, and then I'm going to come back to you later and say my goodbyes. If you like our channel, feel free to subscribe and you will be notified. We typically upload about 1 or 2 videos a week or so. And so I'm going to catch you later. I'm going to, do what I always do best now and get behind the camera. So we'll see you then. So here we are with the close-ups, and as I approach the rugs, to your right, here is the antique. This is the actual Tehran rug. Let's start out with the granddaddy of them all. This is where you have, it's one of the few types, and there are some people out there who oftentimes, well, let's put it this way. I see 10 times more people offering Tehran rugs than are actually see them in person. And that's simply because a lot of times when you have old rugs like these, whether it's Keshans or sometimes even Isfahan rugs, I have seen them marketing them as Tehran rugs, knowing that they can get a lot more money for them. So if you are looking at, especially the older pieces, if you are looking at a new rug and somebody's offering it to you as a Tehran, be extremely careful, do your homework, get opinions if you want, because generally speaking, when you talk about Tehran rugs, you are talking about older rugs right around starting in the 1920s all the way up to the 80s and 90s. And then they kind of fizzled away. And as you can see here, we're talking vegetable dyes, and this is a perfect example. You can see how the vegetable dyes, how there is a discoloring right here. This is what happens when you have real vegetable dyes and the dyes start breaking down over the decades. This type of patina, this is what you expect to see in older rugs. And like I said, this is a wool rugs. Most of the Tehran rugs were made with wool. This is with a Persian knot. It's a really nice, it is a really good quality piece right here. But these are also extremely expensive. I mean, this is a collectible. This is not something that you just buy for a few $100s and you throw down. This is literally tens of thousands. This is a very, very rare piece. I thought I'm gonna just, as I always do when I make the videos, I look around, I ask some of our friends and neighbors, being that we're in the rug industry here, being in the warehouse district, I figured what better way for me to be able to sometimes get these rugs and feature them to you. But as you can see here, I talked about almost like this armor design. This is what you would see on the shields of medieval knights. And so you have, this is the old Tehran rug. This right here, and I'm just going to use this Ozipek. We have the Chinese one, but honestly, I'm just going to actually take the Chinese one away because to me, it's a beautiful rug and everything, but it is not really, I want the Ozipek to stand out for what it is. It's just an amazing, amazing piece. For those of you that are into the Turkish silk rugs, to actually see, this is the first time that I've seen an actual old Turkish Hereke Ozipek workshop, not only with this Tehran shield design, but this is a 1515 quality. So when you talk about, and I'm just going to zoom in and you can see, we're talking 15 knots per centimeter. This is absolutely incredible. And so definitely a very, very fine piece. This is something that our collectors, I have many clients who are passionate collectors, and they, for those of you that know about the Ozipek workshop and the association, the weavers that made them, there's really no point of me going on. But like I said, with the Ozipeks, you typically have the signatures, which again, I made videos where I also talk about how some of the Chinese rugs, they actually copy the Ozipek signature. But this is a very clean version of it. You also have it, I think, yeah, right here at the top. And but I just wanted to feature this rug because, again, it has that classic Tehran shield design. This is what the Tehran rugs are known for, where you have the centerpiece, the center medallion, and as you can see in both pieces here side by side. And so just wanted to showcase the Tehran rug as well as the Tehran design, because it is something that is extremely rare. So I hope you liked this part of the video. I'm going to come back to you now and say my final goodbye. So I'm going to see you again here in just a second. So there's our video today. It's all about the Tehran design and the Tehran rugs. Hope you enjoyed the video. As I mentioned earlier, if you have any questions, feel free to put them in the comments section or email us by visiting at mprugs.com, and you can get all of our contact information. Until we see each other again, I hope all the best for you and your family. Feel free, like I said, let me know if you have any questions. Until we see each other again, best wishes, and we'll see you soon. Take care. Bye-bye.